We are on a Monday morning. Let's take a look at some of our national and international news for today. First of all, did you know that Bitcoin has broken $1,000 the very first day of 2017 at a new height, never before seen? This is a commodity that began with a rough value of 5 American cents, now up to $1,000 on day one of 2017. It's been exponential growth. A special flight with the expelled Russian diplomats has left Washington, D.C., However, Putin has refused to expel U.S. diplomats from Russia, calling it kitchen diplomacy. Also, there was a nightclub attack in Istanbul, an upscale place that a gunman burst in a little bit after midnight on, I guess, early New Year's Day morning and began shooting people with a high-powered rifle. At least 39 dead, over 60 injured. A lot of folks actually jumped into the Bosporus to try to escape the carnage. And Russia looking at possible other measures, anti-American measures, that they could respond to the new sanctions that were put on them by Obama in the last days of his administration. The world media reacting to the Russian embassy meme that they put out after those new, I don't know if you saw it, this meme that went out on social media. It had a picture of a duckling with the word lame on it, you know, like lame duck. And like this was a lame move, very clever. And the world taking note of the humor in it. And also saying basically, yeah, this is not necessarily something for everybody to get all bent out of shape about. Meanwhile, a Russian citizen wanted by Interpol was picked up by Ukrainian border guards. They haven't yet identified him except to say he's a 35-year-old wanted by Interpol. There was a ferry blaze off the coast of Jakarta that killed 23 people on New Year's Eve. And the incoming spokesman for Trump has questioned the outgoing president's response to the alleged Russian hacking, saying this is, this has happened before. For instance, 2015, when they caught China hacking into multiple places in the United States, and there was nothing like what the response was done over Russia. And there's just a lot of questions are being asked right now, not just by the Trump administration, but by the world community. In Italy, a policeman was injured in the explosion of a homemade bomb. Apparently part of the bomb squad, he lost both an eye and a hand. And Argentina and Brazil, the Pravda report is suggesting that the United States was behind the regime change in both of those places. Lastly, the new incoming UN Secretary General, it's his first full day on the job. Yesterday he was sworn in, basically. I think it was actually a couple of weeks ago, but he officially took office as of midnight, going into New Year's morning. He has made his first official YouTube video as the new UN Secretary General, calling on not just governments, but people around the world to make a New Year's resolution to make 2017 a year for peace. So we've got on our national scene. Make sure you check out my Alaska news. And our commentary today focuses on a story that happened here in Fairbanks early on New Year's Day morning. A female pedestrian was killed while she was walking along the road. I'm going to talk a little bit about that, both some tips on how to avoid being hit by a car if you're a pedestrian and how to avoid hitting somebody if you're a driver. And you may not think that may be like a duh, but you think about it, it's dark and there's no place for pedestrians when the sidewalks are covered with snow. We'll talk about that and more. If you like what I'm doing, please support me at Patreon or by a direct subscription at my website, radiofreespeech.com. Thanks.